Welcome to Journal of the Scots. Thank you so much for joining on my Lego journey. Last week, of course, check out my haul video. Went to the Lego store, and today I am going to, of course, do the sorting. And I know everybody loves to just watch me sort. In the past, it had been kind of boring. I haven't been behind the camera, and of course, I've upgraded my studio also slightly. I do have a headset. I don't have a USB mic. Maybe someday I'll have a USB mic, but for now, you get me in the headset with some empty pick-a-brick cups because instead of just kind of taping them, this time they had me dump it in a bag. So this video is all about what did I get for a full cup and a small cup, so a cup and a half. I've done videos on large cups. Check it out. In fact, I have a whole playlist on the value of pick-a-brick cup, and I've done a small, I've done large, I've compared, I've dumped in, I've done some different things. So in this episode, we are going to get into what a cup and a half is. And of course, behind me over here, I have my Mos Eisley Cantina mock that I'm working on the underground. Many of these pieces will play into it, hopefully, and I didn't kind of splurge on pieces that I don't need, which is always kind of an issue. But let's do some sorting here, and I'll probably do a little bit of pausing and editing as we go, because this is a lot of pieces, and it would take me probably 20-30 minutes to sort this. So let's first check it out. Oh, and one thing, so of course, real important, got some more tan right there. We'll have to figure out what the value is at the end. So stay tuned to the end. I'm going to do like a bricklink value on these pieces. This was a cool piece that I found. I couldn't get too many of these. Here we go. We'll go over some of the parts I was able to snag. I have more of these. I've done this on previous videos where I've got these modified 4x1 grays. Those are really going to be nice. I can do some different things with the walls. Different plate work. Oh man, this is all mixed up and jacked up. Oh no. Here we go. So this is a cup and a half. How much value can I get in a cup and a half? So I've got more of these modified. I'm just gonna stack them real quick because this is the easiest way to kind of keep track of them. So look at how many modified. Usually when I go to the pick-a-brick wall, I try to find, I kind of line the inner with 1-bys, and then I start kind of stacking, and then I build around it is kind of my plan. I think for this one I kind of built a base of parts, and then I like to do stuff like this where I'm kind of stacking stuff together so it can kind of hold up the sides and kind of expand the cup a little bit. Oh, here's another. So these are always valuable, these Star Wars like or the dark gray. So I got a bunch of these. Really good color. Kind of get these out of here. Boom, boom. Sorting. Sort life is the best. I figure that I will probably need these to do some kind of trim work. So I'll create a little pile there. There's more of these modified. I kind of mixed some of these in. The other cool piece that I was able to snag as I get those out of the way, check these out. These would be really good tail pieces. So if that goes in, I got a couple of those. I couldn't get too many because I kind of, they're so tall. I think I kind of snuck them in on the sides, but I figured there's some potential value there. I can't help myself, but I end up getting these tile noodles in the dark red color. Those are just great to get. One thing too they also had was the inverted brown. Those are 3x1 inverted. And I think there's some things that I could do with that. In fact, in the Mandalorian set, there were some brown that was in it. So I'm thinking that it was going to be, this could be really valuable for some of the entrances potentially. And then, of course, had to get a lot more tan, so I've got a lot more tan 1x2s, which are really important. I will say the other piece that I did snag that it was purely because I don't really have much of this color, and it's a fairly new color. I'd have to look it up, but I think this color right here was really unique. I forget what it's called. It's not topaz, but it was a 1x1 and very unique color. So I'm really thrilled to get that. Okay. Then another couple pieces. I don't know, I couldn't resist on some of these orange. I do already have some, but I snuck a couple in just because. Was these orange plates 1x4. They're pretty good. Pretty good. It's a unique color. You will see I did go again and get more 1x coral. That was a big piece that I was high on. In fact, I'm just gonna throw those in here for later. Those plates. Okay, and then another piece was these, so they're in the inverted version of the curved 1x4. Well, if you can see that, that was a unique piece too that I was able to snag. Put those over there, more of these. And got more more of these slopes. These are 2x2 curved. Bunch of tan 1x3 plates that I was able to grab. And of course the dog constantly has to go out. So I'm gonna dump the rest of these out here. Hopefully I don't have any stragglers. We'll have to do a double check later, but wow, look at all these parts. Hey, all of these for, it was just over $20. That's what $20 looks like. Boys and girls here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and friends. This is what, wow, I did get a good amount of these black. We'll have to look at the spoils of war post the post sort and more tile noodle. I couldn't get enough of these because I feel like I could do something really amazing at some point with these. Of course, it's always, hey, at some point I could do something amazing, but do you need this brick right now? But I need every brick in my life. You know, every brick counts. Every brick matters. So that is what I am talking about. And now you get, I'm not necessarily sorting at a super fast rate. I didn't get a ton of these because I already have quite a few. I just kind of wanted to snag a few more because I was getting nervous that I just didn't quite have enough. I'm going to go after this. I think this is technically aqua. I couldn't remember the color, but I think this is aqua, if I remember right, because I just remembered that I had the tile version. Maybe it's not aqua. These colors are killing me. I'm not an artist. Any artist can comment. What is this color? I'm sure when I look at Bricklink, I'll find out which color it is, but right now it is escaping me. I don't think it's like one of those like a medium azure. Maybe. Watch it be a medium azure. The famous color. One other piece that I did get a whole bunch, it was at the bottom of one of the cups after the one buys, is they had this the silver metallic, not the cylinder, but I forget what these are even called, right? Like the cones, right? That was pretty nice get, so I just got a bunch of them. Because you never know if I was going to use a bunch, or if I need them, I would need probably a bunch of them. They could be used for like engines, or like I feel like there could be some really good Star Wars or ship-based uses for this. It could make an appearance in the mock at some point, so I decided to snag. I'm going to need to find an area for these that won't fall. The other thing I did get some was the tan one buys, of course. Must get. And here we go. More of these. Boy, now that looking back, I really did get a lot of these 1x6s. Really scored on those. Boom. Score. There's even more. Look at that. Sometimes when you're grabbing, you just don't realize how much you're grabbing. I feel like I'll never have enough of these 2x6 plates. I got a few more, not a ton. I actually went more for the smaller parts. Sometimes, that's the thing with Pick-a-Brick is that it really is geared towards the smaller brick, but I like mixing in, especially through the middle. I think I was talking about that earlier. I like mixing in some of the larger bricks is nice because it's not kind of getting in the way and you can kind of surround it with small bricks, kind of maximize. So I don't get a ton of large bricks from it, but you are able to get a good amount. Wow, look at all these. Let's pound those out. Those 1x3 tan, I'm hoping those can come in handy. I do have a decent amount of them, but I didn't have like a mass. I can always have enough. Actually, I don't have enough 1x3 bricks. And I usually have mostly 1x4 instead of 1x3 is a little bit more common. So it'll be nice to kind of have like a good mixture of different sizes. And like I covered before, I got a lot of 1x2s, tans. They're going to be really useful for building up the walls. And let's attack those, get those out of the way. A few more slopes. Get those out. So they're kind of periodically in here. So let me pause while we will jump ahead, get some of these tan bricks out of there, and I'll get into the next piece. Okay, pausing in because I've got a good amount of the tan brick going. So while I have everybody and I'm still sorting, I will kind of do a little bit of a commercial on the channel. So first, if you're a first-time watcher, thank you so much for just clicking on it and watching. That is very much appreciated. This is a great time to be subscribing and jumping in to watch content because I have kind of like I've been working, I'm almost going to hit my 1-year anniversary here of launching, not Journal of the Scots, but even being on YouTube. Journal of the Scots is only like since January-ish, January, February. I think I did it, I think it was like February where I did an official name change. I was just Scott D. Bricks when I first started because I didn't really know any better. And of course needed bricks in the name, but I didn't want to have, I wanted Scott in my name, but I also wanted it to be fun, and maybe I'll save like what the origin story of Journal of the Scouts actually is. It is a Star Wars reference. Let me know below in the comments if you can figure that one out. Here is another brick, so a 2x1 modified in this dark blue. It's just a fabulous color. And I scored a bunch of it. I didn't get too much of it, but just enough. Yeah, probably not enough to do anything with it, but it's just such a cool color. I could not resist. The other one where I had in that dark blue was these are really nice these are kind of like almost like roof pieces. You'll see this in creator sets. I've been seeing these types more and more. It would have been nice to get some tan version of this, would have been sick. But it's basically the slope on a 2x1 plate, like pre-built. So you can kind of do the same thing with one of the 30-degree slopes and then a plate, but it's nice to have these pre-built ones. So I got more in that dark blue. So yeah, absolutely. This is the time to be jumping in. I was going over my channel like a week or two ago, and of course have a lot of good content coming on the way, so stay tuned. It's really going to get hot. It's football season, so the weather is going to become better for me to be doing a lot more indoor activity, which means lots of building, especially since you can't do jack in a pandemic year, and the pandemic doesn't seem to end. So let's build. Let's get it done. Let's do some building. This is the time. And I will say, um, tons of content coming. And I was looking back, and boy, I really do have. I've really accomplished a lot over the last just not even the first year in the channel. One thing I'm really proud about, and it just happened, and now I'm kind of like reaping the benefits of it to an extent. Although I'd like to see a little bit more viewership on it, would be my check out my Microfighter Monday playlist. Monday probably doesn't really do anything for microfighters, but I could almost say that I'm a microfighter expert. I don't know, expert's probably a little aggressive. However, I have done a review, completed the entire collection from all the way from the original clone turbo tank all the way through to the third Millennium Falcon. Of course, we needed that. That just came out this year. So I have a review set up, and I've got my thoughts. I've got more to come on that, and tons of awesome content like this. I love seeing how much value there is in Pick-a-Brick. There's a video of, I have series 1, 2, and 3 of all the dots. I'm not really a dots collector. I don't really even care, but I think they will come in handy for mocks later on. So I do have a lot of dots. There's some really, the series 3 was a really good one, and I found Walmart clearance. So $2 a pack. I think that's the right price. I almost wish they would get rid of those girly. I know they're cute and kids will like them, but if they could limit the amount of printed tiles, and reduce the price to like $2, reduce the printed tiles, which should keep their costs down, they might be able to, I think, do better with dots and also do some. I mean, unless they did like Star Wars prints, they could sell that for $4 a shot. Now they probably would have to pay Star Wars a license, but I don't know. Would they? Would they? Okay. But no, there's just a ton going on with the channel. Generally speaking, for the next few weeks, you will see Microfighter Monday. I'm closing in on 50 episodes of Microfighter Monday. They'll probably, usually on Tuesdays, I come out with some sort of a set, either Star Wars or non-Star Wars. You'll see a review come out on Tuesdays. Wednesdays generally are all of my hauls, or you've got videos like this, sorting my hauls, so to speak, on Wednesdays. Thursday, I will try to be more regular with my Mos Eisley Cantina mock series. Friday, I have a new playlist, and I've got about a month of content that I'm editing currently and working on. That will be my pickleball journey. So that'll be on Fridays. And coming soon, I'm going to create another series. Ooh, so all right, so pause there. We'll get to my next series. But I found this grates, which are awesome. So I wish it was the dark gray. It's the light gray, but still very useful. A lot of good uses for it. And so I got a whole bunch of it. So I wonder how valuable these grill pieces would be. I wonder if they're like 2-3 cents a piece. But this could be really useful for a lot of different things. And since I'm going to be building tunnels, I can build all these grills. So this has high potential in my mock. So that said, so back to my series potential that's upcoming on the channel is the going to be creating the Journal of the Scots, almost like a podcast. I don't have a final name quite yet, but it might be kind of like the Journal of the Scots stories video cast. So it'd be podcast format. You can listen. Feels like this is would be. I've been talking about that type of format for a while. I know many people have great shows like Missing Pieces, and then the other channel I watch a lot of is Builder Buds. So shout out to you if you're making it this far in this video. That I do like those kind of like podcast, blog, very reflective type videos. I've been kind of working on some, not scripts, but I don't want it to be scripted. I want it to be kind of free flowing. I really like the one shot, like no editing. I don't really have a lot of time to be doing a lot of editing, but that said, I find that when I gather my thoughts, kind of outline what I want to say, and then just kind of follow that outline and kind of throw it out there and see what comes out. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it may not be quite as crisp if it was scripted in advance. However, I think it'll be fun and I think it'll be good, and I've got some really good ideas that it would be really kind of like very reflective of the journey and kind of journalize, my life, Lego, and a lot of the fun hobbies, and maybe it'll provide some insights to folks out there that are young and old alike. So we shall see. So that I haven't started taping, like videoing, editing, doing all of that piece quite yet. I kind of wanted to launch it in September, but it's probably looking more like October at this point, like mid-October, almost like a fall series. So it'll kind of be a fall series. I want to make sure that if once I do something, that I'm able to be consistent. That's one thing. It's why I started with Microfighter Monday, right? Because I felt like I was kind of on a Microfighter collecting journey, and I had ordered a lot of the Microfighters that I hadn't had yet, and so I knew I was going to be able to complete the series. I didn't know it would actually make it all the way. I think I only missed like 1 week. I was very consistent with it almost every Monday, and I feel like trying to be consistent really pushed me to, I know it wasn't necessarily, I'm kind of not doing content for the viewership, doing it more for me, but it kind of pushes you knowing that, hey, there's at least one person, maybe it's myself, maybe it's other people that care about the content and are regular regularly watching, and there might be one person out there that really enjoys every Monday seeing me uh, put some thoughts on or reviewing a microfighter. So just that thought alone sometimes drives you. It's funny. I was watching um, an event where they talk about you don't know what inspires you. You could say that in that case, sometimes I inspired myself to create that content, or maybe it got myself going, but maybe it was seeing that I got 10 views on a video and a really good comment and a very good interaction. It just makes you feel so good that drives you and inspires you to make more content. So I think that's what keeps me going. I think, people talk about, hey, that's why I like not putting a lot of time and effort. Well, I should take that back. I put a lot of time and effort, and like no matter what, there's some level of effort and time that goes into making a video. Just getting the equipment set up, thinking about the content, taping, or putting, hitting start on the video. Sometimes you delete it by accident. Sometimes you do all these things. There is a lot of work. So at a minimum, like a 10-minute video, no matter what you do, is going to probably take about a half-hour work. No matter what you do, as efficient as you can do it, half-hour work. The only time that it's literally nearly zero work, and even that has work on it, is if you're just live streaming and you just kind of already have the equipment set up. You show up, you hit the live button, you talk to people, and you shut it off, and you're done. Um, I would still argue that you're still work and effort that goes into it because you might want to do a thumbnail, you might want to look at the comments and look at the analytics and do all that afterwards. All that takes time and effort. So let's get into a couple more pieces that I was able to find in the pick a brick wall. One was these the grippers. I forget what they're even called. I probably should know that, but it was in that sand green. So I'm gonna be a sand green millionaire someday. Sand green millionaire. There we go. So there's a bunch of those. I didn't get too many. There's probably not a ton of uses for that, but I think that was a cool. There could be some ships. There's a lot of sand green in the clone. A few clones that have sand green in it, so this may have some use. There we go. Then another piece. I did find some of these is the modified 1x1 brick. So there's some of those. Let's get those kind of sorted out of there. You really can, these modified, that it's really becoming more and more like a critical piece. These modified bricks, they are critical. So I kind of wish I got more tan version of them. Probably could have like an unlimited version, but I think for long term, these modified bricks are going to be extremely useful for buildings. Then I've had to get dark gray 2x plates, 2x1 plates, a bunch of those. So man, there's a lot of sorting. And I talked about the 1x1 tan. There's a ton of that. Tons. And then a really cool piece that they had, I made them go in the back to get these, is these are like end pieces, those curved tiles. Those are really cool. Here's a bunch. They really are strong. I wish they had some different colors. I mean, if they would have had tan, that would have been incredible, but these are the dark green. I got a bunch of them. Basically like a half a scoop worth. Quarter scooper, something like that. But those are really valuable too. So I got some odd parts really. Hopefully I will find a use for them. These coral, I always seem to fill up my bottom. And what's interesting is I think I saw a pick-a-brick, or excuse me, a Bricklink store. I don't know if it was like Papa Shot or Pop's Shop or one of those channels that had went to the Brick wall and got a ton of coral pieces for the Bricklink store because of how valuable these things are. I think these are at least 3 to 4 cents a piece. So um, they are price per pound. They are very valuable, especially when you consider that, like that, those little bags of dots. There's 109 in those little packs, and it takes like a ton of packs to fill up even a small pick-a-brick cup. So anyways, so back to the channel. The series that will probably, I may post that on a weekend. Maybe I'll make that on a Sunday. I don't know, maybe I'll do Saturday just in case I decide to go live on some Sundays. That may be a very real possibility where I go live on Sundays. I don't know. I do need to figure out a day of the week. And if anybody wants to um, jump into streams and kind of maybe do a combined show, I'm all ears on doing a show together. Sometimes it's better to have company than to go alone because then one person can kind of watch the chat. You can do different things. It kind of opens up the possibilities a little bit while I finish sorting this out. So I do want to get back to streaming. You know, before I also did streaming on Fridays, so maybe that's what I'll do at some point, depending on how the winter goes. That was kind of a good cadence before. I used to, especially when the weather's bad outside, and work is usually done by like 5 o'clock on Fridays. Sometimes it goes later, so I could do kind of like a once a week live show. It'd be nice to pick like a weekend, but it's so hard. It's kind of usually family time on the weekend, so it's hard to kind of go live on the weekend. And the kids don't want to be on camera yet, so they're all camera shy. So, oh, so there's two other parts that I did get. One is they had the curved 2x1, great piece. So probably not for this mock, but I thought, you know, I have a lot of gray of these curved bricks. So, and at some point I want to do kind of like a small Hoth mock, you know, or maybe like an ice planet, maybe like an abandoned outpost would be really neat. So I grabbed some, and these are also probably really good for detailing on ships. So I grabbed a few just so I have a few extra. You know, one thing is that having extra pieces is really nice because even the other day I was putting together a set and I was missing actually a dark gray 2x, and I'm like, boom, grabbed it right out of here. So not out of this pile, but out of my stash. So the other piece, I think this is maybe the last one that's unique, was that I got some white corner pieces. Those are always great. So those are good to get. I think we are getting to the point where we are getting down on what we have. So this is kind of a lull, if you will. Now it's getting easier to sort. Just need to figure out the piles. Attack these grills a little bit more. So that is the full lineup I've got. So at some point, if I do have enough content, obviously there'll be days where it's probably going to get a little out of order. But if I do enough, I may have enough videos to go daily on my content. I don't want to force myself. I want to make sure that I have a really good mixture. Oh, the other piece is I am working on. I don't know when I'm going to release it. It might be more of a December time frame for release. Maybe November if I'm really pushing myself. But I do want to create like a short series um, that's Lego based. Do something a little bit different, more of a story based setup. So more to come on that. So that could be kind of the seventh day. Is like one day is a short that comes out. I have Microfighter Monday. Then there's like a Tuesday set review. Wednesdays are like hauls or like just general brick uh, stuff or dots or kind of that maybe non Star Wars ish type stuff. Thursday I'll continue to do my mock series. That's gonna take a while. Going to be a while. And then I always want to start incorporating pickleball for those. If you're not athletic and don't care about that stuff, just don't mind that video in the feed, or maybe it sparks your interest. That's kind of what I'm hoping, is that maybe it sparks interest. I'm not certified, I'm not an expert by any means, but I really do enjoy sports, and racket sports has been my jam for a long time. I do play tennis once a week, and shout out to a friend that has gotten me back into it. So I'm always open for a game or to hit. This is really fun. And but I have converted officially to pickleball. I haven't decided where and when I'm going to play. There's options for competitive. There's options for advanced intermediate. We may just join like an indoor club and play once a week. So we shall see what we end up doing. Don't know. And it's fun to hit around. It's so social and so many people are getting into it. So give it a shot. What I do is try to find like courts that are official pickleball courts in your area. A lot of them will have postings where beginners can show up, and usually there's somebody who's also kind of like a new beginner, but at least knows the ropes and the rules, and then we'll help you out. I think that's the whole point, is for people to kind of get started, right? And because trying to figure out how to score properly, the rules, all those types of things is kind of like it's a little bit of a trick. It's hard enough to hit it because you feel like it should bounce a little bit higher, but it doesn't bounce very high. So it's kind of surprising sometimes. So you have to really get low and all that kind of stuff. So it's so much fun. But what's nice is that it's very much like table tennis, where you really have to, it's like the quick action. So much action. But enjoy it very much. So wow, I wonder how long we've been going. We're probably at like 30 minutes now, which is a little in the insane side. Let's start getting these tan going. Wow, I really did get a lot of these cylinders. I think I'm good on silver cylinders for a little while. This here, tan one by, boom. So I always, again, I think I went over this, but I always fill the bottom of my cups with my one bys. I also periodically will kind of mix in some one bys and shake so that it all kind of settles down. What was interesting in one of my pick-a-brick videos where I was like showing these versus this cup, I used all one bys. When I poured them in and then I shook it, it literally would sink like almost half an inch from just shaking and kind of getting the air pockets out of it. So it definitely matters to use these one bys. Some people don't like a lot of one bys, but I think they're great, because what happens when let's say I was ever doing a mosaic and I needed 1x, they could come in handy. You need these. The world map for those who purchased that or some of those other like big mosaic sets. You see that catch? uh, those have just tons of 1x's in them, and I mean, can you imagine what your collection is like? That's why I like building and breaking things down. Although, like those types of things, I can't imagine breaking those down. There's just so many. It would just hurt your fingers, even with a brick separator. That's got to be insane to do that. So, holy cow, this video is going to be like, it's going to destroy all my bandwidth. I don't know what that is. All right. Finish getting these grill. Wow, I really did get a lot of grill pieces. Holy dude, this is insane. And I'm gonna have to count this up. Dang. Holy cow. All right. Oh, these cylinders, man, they kind of fly all over the place. I hope I use them someday. They might get use in this mock. I don't know exactly where. I'll have to think of some things. Decent amount of 1x10s. There we go. Let's go. And then some dark, boy, these dark gray are really nice too. Good little, not a huge pile, but a decent amount. I really did get a lot of those noodle pieces. I'm pretty much done with those, unless I've got something where I need to be specific with it. That was one thing I tried to do, is find pieces that I'd for sure use. So, I mean, I got a lot of tan. I probably could have used more. Probably went a little overboard on some of these other pieces. But, what can you do? That's what happens when you go a little overboard. So, here we go. Got that. Oh, man. Okay, there we go. Look at that. All sorted. So, I don't know where this dirt came from. All right, it is all done. I did put some of it in jars here. It's not a part of this. Here we go. Okay, let's take a look. So this is what a cup and a half looks like. Look at all those great pieces. Those grills. Oh man, so cool. This was pretty neat. I don't really have a ton of this. Oh, look, one modified brick that needs to go out of there. Some of those dark green, those black inverted. I'll look up some of these colors. Decent amount of 1x2 tan. And wow, look at all that stuff. A nice little stack of tan. So when I'll come back, I will give you the totals from Bricklink. Okay, we have counted everything up. And this is what a full large cup and a small cup look all together. Let's kind of go mobile here. There we go. Just there's the macaroni modified. Got the 1x2 slopes. Those grill, I'll get to those in a moment. Those grill pieces are insane. Corner pieces, there's the tan 1x3s, the 1x1s, 1x2s, bricks. Those are going to be super useful. Of course, they had a little dash of color here. And again, that's dark turquoise. I keep forgetting that darn color. It doesn't look good on this camera because of the lighting, but it's dark turquoise for sure. Dark green. Those dark blue slopes did really well too. I was surprised at the value with the black curved inverted. Those aren't really all that value. It's pretty common. The flat silver. That was a lot more than I thought I originally got, and of course the 4x modified and dark gray over there. And then these were the, I got kind of screwed on those. I probably should not have picked those up, because that's basically the curved stud left. So then I don't have the matching curved right to go with it. So now I'm gonna be hosed on those. So um, I won't. I would love for anybody who has made it this far. Congratulations, first of all, if you've made it this far. This has been awesome. A full cup and a half is definitely. I think 2 cups would have killed me. But if you've made it this far, I'd love to hear how many pieces do you think this is? So in a cup and a half, obviously you could pack in a lot more. You can get thousands. I think I've said before you can get like probably about 1,500 or so 1x studs, if not more, maybe even upwards of 2,000 studs. So you could do 2 cups of just 1x studs and get like 4,000 of those. So let me know in the comments, how many pieces do you think this is? So it's $25 out of my pocket for the cups themselves. So it's a $15.99 and an $8.99 cup. So we have that right over here, and we've got the other one over there. And so I filled those up as packed as I could for 25 bucks. And I'm going to say it. I think I didn't necessarily break my record, but it's right on par for where I've been hitting, is just under 2 cents per piece in front of you here. That's pretty insanely low. You won't see that in any set for sure. I mean, obviously minifigures and those types of things really increase the value. Printed tiles, large pieces up the value quite a bit. But we were well under 2 cents a piece. So it was about 1.78 cents per piece. Just to put it in perspective, the classic bricks pack, I think we've been able to get that, just over 2 cents a piece. Now there are some bigger plates. It's 1,500 pieces for 40 bucks. So, you could argue that those are better pieces than we have here. But then again, I didn't go for just like the coral 1x's, right? Like, which would have probably made this like 0.1 cent per piece, that low, and then the value like triple. So to put it in perspective, so the average bricklink value was just over 0.04, or excuse me, it was basically 4 cents per piece, and for a grand total of $57.39 versus the $25. So if you look at it, you do get VIP points. That kind of wipes out the taxes a little bit, or at least helps with the taxes. And then so it's roughly just over double the bricklink value. Now, why do I even care about the bricklink value? And just to let people know, I was extremely conservative. So if a price per average per piece was 4 or 5 cents, but I saw it being sold mainly at 3 cents, I put it at 3 cents, right? So it's very conservative. If somebody wanted to put an extra penny or two on some of these parts, they absolutely could. It just may not sell, within a reasonable amount of time, and especially depending if it's a high volume piece. A couple notable parts is that those gray grills, yeah, they're 3 cents per piece. But that adds up. There was 267 of those, so that was $8 in gray gills. So I'm pretty amazed. The 1x2 Tan brick did very well, so it's definitely a couple bucks in that one did well. Those were going for like 3 or 4 cents on Bricklink, so it's a pretty strong piece. It's probably just because it's just in such demand from mock builders. I've got to think that there's a pretty heavy supply out there, but that's a decent piece. And another one, the 1x1 tan is actually okay. It's only 2 cents per piece, but it's $2.70 worth. The flat cylinder cones were okay. Those weren't super expensive per piece, but I had a ton of them right there. I was pretty amazed. 119 of them at 3 cents a piece for $3.57. And then the 1x1, so these dark turquoise, these are nice pieces. I knew they were going to be, because again, normally 1x1, ones are probably like 2 to 3 cents a piece. Those were 5 cents a piece, so it's a 2 cent per piece premium. That is huge, because then it jumped it to $3.06 because I had 72 of those. So that's a really good haul there. Then the 1x2 gray always do well, because normally 1x2s are like between 2 and 3 cents, and those are 4 cents. It's probably again the mock builders from all the Star Wars people, so that's $2.72 worth. Which other ones were really strong? The 1x3s over here, the dark green and also the tan did very well. There's a lot of pieces there, so it's 93 tan and 53 dark green. The dark green, I hope I had it right, but it was showing at 8 cents. I had seen it as high as 10 cents, but I moved it down to 8. So that's over $4 in dark green. Those are really good for like forest mocks and stuff like that. Probably the next biggest, I keep getting these macaroni pieces down here, these dark red pieces, and see if we can get it here. Because I kind of feel like it's got kind of a Republic feel to it, and I'll probably do something around with clones. So I got another $3 worth of noodles, 47 of them right there. So overall, awesome haul. I love Pick-a-Brick, as you can tell. That's a cup and a half. That took a while. The most difficult piece was actually counting this. This was a real serious pain in the neck to count all this up. Let me know. I know how many pieces there are. Oh, and there's 27 different brick parts represented here. I think that's way too many. I know, I think one of my other ones I had like 30 when I did a large cup. That was way too many. So for a cup and a half, this is probably too many too. I probably should have pared down. I probably could have skipped the curved wedge studs. I don't know, maybe a few others. I do look forward to using some of these inverted brown plate. Those are really going to be really good for entrances and underground. So with that, thank you so much for joining. This was a fantastic sorting of the haul from last week. Sincerely appreciate you hanging in there if you've made it this far. Again, tell me the piece count as your secret word to let me know that you were able to finish this video. Till next time, appreciate it, and we'll catch you on the next Pick-a-Brick wall.